Shiny Pokemon are the most desired types of Pokemon. They're slightly different colored variants of Pokemon which may not seem like much but can really change a Pokemon's design and popularity. Some people are dedicated to hunting these creatures and they will spend years doing so.
Like when I went in there, like I saw the SP, I saw it was, oh my god, Shiny Natu! Shiny Natu! Oh my god! Oh my god! Shiny Natu! Oh my god! I finally found it! Oh my Shiny Natu! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! Yes! Shiny Natu! Shiny Natu! Oh my god! Yes! 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 It's next to 5 Odyshes! It's next to 5 Odyshes!
But what about the Pokemon without that special coat of paint? In this video, we're going to be helping the less fortunate Pokemon by giving them a better shiny, starting off with Nidoqueen. This poor thing should have been purple, but due to a color palette swap, it turned an ugly shade of green, so let's change that so it's more in line with the rest of the line. One shiny Pokemon to fix, a lot more to go. Slowpoke barely changes at all, but by changing the color to this nice shade of purple, it fits in perfectly with the rest of its evolutionary line. Gengar is another famous shiny Pokemon that looks horrible, and it sucks due to its popularity. But by transforming it to the shade of green, it looks better, and the green reminds me of ghostly energy. Snorlax's shiny looks alright, but come on, the green on the back barely changes, so let's fix that. What's the opposite of green? Red. And come on, imagine this thing in the fall with the leaves surrounding it, and then it jumps out and attacks you. Okay, maybe that was a little bit too morbid, but you get the point. The blue on Articuno barely changes at all, but by making it red, we can make it look like that one alien from Ben 10. And it even matches the quote, "Ice so cold it burns." I never understood the reference as a kid, and nor do I now, but hey, it works and this thing looks dope. Speaking of legendary birds, Zapdos barely changes. Seriously, why did I spend 3,000 resets shiny hunting for this thing? Like with Articuno, a red coat of paint suits this thing so much better. I guess it works too because electricity is a good conductor of heat. Togetic shiny is good on paper. It's actually pretty clever. The red and the blue switch spots, but it looks horrible in execution. So to fix this, I just changed the white to slightly blue and it looks pretty good now. Elekid's shiny barely changes, but I gave it this nice shade of blue to match the blue lightning bolts that you'd see in real life. And those are the best type of lightning bolts, let's be honest. Blissey is known for being a great Pokemon due to it being a great special wall and is often used in most Nuzlocks. Overall, it's a great Pokemon, but has a horrible shiny. A simple fix is just to make it purple, resulting in this amazing shiny. By the way, if you find any of this interesting, I totally recommend subscribing for daily Pokemon content. It's free to support me, and I have some pretty cool content coming out in the next couple of weeks. The Pokemon Blaziken has another bad shiny. It's a fan favorite, but it looks awful and is completely desaturated. Luckily, by making it blue, it looks pretty good. It's also orange on the feet, and the blue and orange complement each other pretty nicely. The weird thing is they changed Combusken's shiny to look slightly better, but they didn't change Blaziken or Cortex, which is kinda baffling. Slaking is another OP Pokemon, if not for Truant, making this thing completely useless. Speaking of useless, look at this shiny. Luckily, all I have to do is give it the purple treatment, and hey, it matches Slackoth. Shedinja is another amazing Pokemon, and I think I'm starting to know a trend. Why do all of the OP Pokemon have horrible shinies? Anyway, I gave it the pink treatment, and it looks great even though I've never seen a pink cicada before. Explouded is an okay Pokemon with a worse shiny. Luckily, I just gave it the Baja Blast treatment, and it looks pretty good, even though I'm sure it would look better as a sprite rather than a 3D model on a Switch game. Minun and Plusle are a great pair of Pokemon that are completely not the most forgettable things in existence. Still, Plusle got the short end of the stick with a barely changing shiny color. However, I gave it a green, well, because I'm lazy and because opposites attract to each other. The red on Solrock becomes darker and it has blue eyes. I like the color blue, so I made the body blue and the spikes beige, as well as make the eyes green to contrast to blue, making a pretty cool shiny in my opinion. Wishcash, like Solrock, also gets darker, and I made the lips and fin green, as well as make the body brown, and I added some yellow, which looks pretty good in my opinion. Chronon got the Baja Blast treatment, where I turned it bluish green, and I think it suits it pretty well. There are blue crabs in the world though, not to this extent, so I guess it is a bit unrealistic, but hey, it's just Pokemon. Claydol has a horrible shiny, which makes sense as it's a pretty bad Pokemon. However, if you keep its black body and change the red to blue, it actually looks pretty cool. Torterra looks very washed out, and it's a shame. Luckily, I turned the body brown and the foliage on its body red. This is so that it looks like a Pokemon from the fall. The fall, in my opinion, is the prettiest season aesthetically, so I designed a shiny to reflect that, and it's probably one of the best ones I've designed. Infernape shiny looks like a raw monkey, which I noticed when making this video. Anyway, I made it blue because blue is the answer, and blue fire is actually hotter than red fire. It's kind of weird how we associate red fire with fire and not blue fire with fire, even though blue fire is hotter. Doesn't make sense at all. Empoleon shiny doesn't look bad, just not good. It looks pretty washed out, and I think it also looks pretty dope in red. It's part steel type, so you could say that Empoleon is rusting, even though that's kind of dark. For Bibarel, I made a shiny blue to represent its water typing and the fact that it's based off of beavers. I mean, I could also say that its current shiny is represented by its normal type, if you know what I mean, because it's pretty bland. All three Wormadam lines suck, so I just changed the color. I made two of them slightly a different shade of pink or green, and I gave the Baja Blast treatment to one because, well, why not? Even though I've never had Baja Blast before. Both forms of Gastron look pretty desaturated, so I gave them the same back colors, and for their bodies I made them purple and blue respectively. Time for a famous one. Garchomp shiny is something else, and after playing around a bit with some color palettes and some saturation, I settled on this. The red looks nice with the purple, and it definitely looks better than whatever this is. Abomasnow, you can tell if it's shiny, but I don't like how it barely changed at all. Instead, I opted for making the hands and the feet purple. The white is also slightly tinted purple as well to really give the look. Palkia shiny sucks when compared to Dialga's, which is why I added some blue. I think it's a pretty cool change, and the two shinies could match each other for sure. In order to get a Manphy in Generation 4, you need to do a lot of work, which can be detailed in this video. Anyway, the Manphy is not shiny locked, meaning you could potentially end up with this Pokemon. To fix this horrible shiny, I made the body darker blue, and I made the circles on its body green. Moving on to Generation 5, we start with Samurott, and it's a shame because the starter trio may be my least favorite, but come on, they have great shinies. Anyway, I made Samurott shiny green because, well, I think it looks nice. I know green shinies are controversial, but I like them. Both forms of Basculin don't have the best shinies, but by making their body either blue or pink, you have opposites which work pretty well. Also, the stripe is green. Next is Darmanitan, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with this Pokemon. Eventually, I settled on a nice purple, which I think looks pretty well. Scrafty has a great green shiny, and Scraggy, well, looks like this. All we have to do is change Scraggy to green to match its evolution, and we're good to go, luckily. I didn't know what to design for the shiny Galfolet line because it's one of the worst in existence, but I promised to fix bad shinies, and here we are. I settled for a green body on this one because, well, it makes me want to throw up. Galvantula shiny, I made a nice shade of pink. I'm not sure if there are any pink spiders out there, but hey, it looks pretty nice, and the green contrasts pretty well, so that's an added bonus. Zekrom has a pretty bad shiny with its eyes being the only thing to really change color, but by making it brown, it looks rusty and worn out, which is probably true because it's so old. After Generation 5, Game Freak started picking the shinies, probably because most of them look so bad. And they did a really good job, because there are no bad shiny Pokemon, in my opinion, in the 6th generation. This means we can move on to Generation 7, which only has one bad shiny, and it's a huge missed opportunity in my opinion. Cosmog shiny went from this to this, and it's such a shame because it's so easy to make a better shiny. I didn't even go to Photoshop, and I went to Photopea and I pressed Command U, and played around with the saturation a bit, and I got about 10 good shinies. This should be a war crime. Anyway, moving on to Generation 8 with Boltund. It looks fine, though I suppose we could just change the yellow to purple. I'm not sure if there are any purple dogs though. Copperage's original shiny looks pretty washed out, so all I did was the opposite and saturate the normal colors on Copperage, which I think looks pretty cool. Glacier has a horrendous shiny. How is anybody supposed to tell the difference between this and this? It's completely beyond me. Anyway, I turned the ice pink, which honestly looks amazing, and you can still tell that there's ice there. Calyrex is another forgettable Pokemon with another forgettable shiny. That's why I turned the lump on its head red to represent autumn like I did with Torterra. For the fusion with Spectre, who already has a good shiny, I just turned Calyrex purple. Since it's one image, I couldn't figure out how to make Calyrex the autumn colors because like I said, it's one image and I can't change the saturation on both of them. Same with the Glacier Fusion, and Calyrex looks like he's on high contrast mode for some reason. Sorry about that. Moving on to Generation 9, I changed the pink on Squirrelidge to have a green coat of paint like a crocodile. I also added some blue flames, which actually look pretty cool in my opinion as well. Quaquaval Shiny is actually pretty cool, and it's probably in the top 3 shinies that I made for this video. It has a green, red, turquoise, and blue color scheme, and it looks absolutely amazing. The normal is completely desaturated, while this looks amazing. Armarouge and Ceruledge have terrible shinies, and they were the inspiration behind this video. I made Armarouge green and blue, which is a great color combination and looks amazing. I also made this one that you guys can see in the thumbnail. Ceruledge was another shiny that I was keen to make as well. I went in with the all flame look here, and it looks great with the shade of maroon that I gave it. The other colors like the pink and the orange on the blades look amazing, and I'm super happy with the way this shiny turned out. Maushold was actually super hard because I couldn't find a way to make it look good due to the white, and Photoshop simply didn't respond, which was pretty annoying. I'm not even sure you can actually see the change, but it's blue and here it is. Kilowattrell's regular shiny is alright, but I love this red variant I made. It looks like a cardinal. Plus, black and red is a great color combination as well. I love the purple on the beak as well, which really elevates the design. Baxcalibur becomes way darker instead of desaturated. It also has green eyes to further set it apart from the normal Baxcalibur. The last Pokemon on this list is Gimmighoul, and I wanted to make it silver, but somehow I ended up with this orange shade, which looks so good in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching. If you found any of this content interesting, I recommend liking and subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Also, for those who don't know, I'm going to be taking a break in January. I haven't decided how long this break will be, but it's definitely much needed. If you saw my community tab, you know I'm becoming really burnt out with YouTube. There'll be a couple more videos released from December to January, but after that, I'll be gone. I'll be uploading some shorts, but then, yeah, it's going to be pretty much over for around a month. The channel will not be as active as it was. I hope you understand this change, and I'll see you in the next one. And no, I'm not quitting. I'm just taking a break. Peace.